Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious. Welcome to Elevated Wisdom, where we transcend and go beyond the subconscious.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
There he goes. Okay, now we're good as far as mine goes. The volume. Uh and we should be here. Say so. Okay, all right, we're good. We're good. Hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Elevated Wisdom. I am Intoxicated DJ, and as always, here next to me is my brother from another mother, Ahmad Jermaine, and together we bring you Elevated Wisdom. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, good, man. Yourself?
Wonderful, wonderful. I am excited to be here and have another great conversation with you and continue on the work with the journal, The Journey Inward, a journal of self exploration with you.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes, sir. Let's see.
Let's
So,
move.
we have this going. I'm gonna get us up and going. I'm gonna give a shout out to It's Jay Sosa coming through right away in the kick chat. Also, Snip and Hammer coming through and tapping us up. Thank you so much. We're gonna go live on
Appreciate
the
it.
kick.
Thank you.
The old Tiki Talks. Let me see. Go live here. I'll copy.
Tickety top.
You know. Oh, paste, save. Okay. Um. All right. I think we are live on TikTok as well. Cool. I'm gonna pop this chat out, and we're gonna get it started. I am very excited that things are looking good as far as all the platforms that we are able to be blessed to be streaming on today. So thank you to each and every platform for allowing us to have and hold this healing space, facilitate this healing environment, not only for ourselves, but anybody who may need it as well. And so um, we're going to start with another amazing piece of content brought to you by yours truly, Manon Affiliates, aka Elevated Wisdom. And so we're going to put it up here on the chat, not to cut off our brother here, but we'll show this and we'll kind of continue on the conversation of today based with the information that you're going to hear right now. So without any further ado, let's check it out.
Have you ever overthought a text, convinced someone was mad at you, when really they were just tired? It's not the message, it's the state of your heart that's speaking. We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. Anais Nin. What we call reality is filtered through our own emotions, beliefs, and pain. This quote reminds us, you don't see the world for what it is. You see it through the lens of who you are right now. If you're angry, everything feels like an attack. If you're insecure, everything feels like rejection. If you're at peace, even chaos can feel calm. The world doesn't always need to change. Sometimes you do. When you start healing, growing, and understanding yourself, your vision clears. You stop reacting. You start seeing. If your world feels dark, ask yourself, what part of me is casting the shadow? This is Mananan Affiliates. Have you ever overthought a text?
I'm going to listen to it one more
Convinced someone
time.
was mad at you, when really they were just tired? It's not the message, it's the state of your heart that's speaking. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are.
We see things as we are. Let's go into that. I'm gonna break it down a little bit at a time. Break that down a little further. Give us an example of what you mean by that. Let's replay it one more time.
See things as we are.
Hold on.
We don't
Oh.
see things as they are. We see things as we are.
We don't see
the
things as they
world.
are. Sorry.
No, most of the time we don't see things how they actually are. We see them how either we want them to be. But what they're meaning by you see things how you are or where you're at,
Mm-hmm.
that's just saying emotionally, right? If there's a part of you that has not achieved that growth or is not doing the healing, most likely you're going to react more so in a negative way and turn it into something based off of whatever that insecurity may be.
Mm.
And that's the premise of it is that's why I was saying if you're angry, you'll see the world as angry and not a safe place. If you're insecure, you'll think people are out to get you and you're never going to be good enough and that's how you see the world, right? Everything is within arm's reach, but you'll never get it because of how you feel within yourself that you don't deserve it.
Mm.
And that's
Go ahead.
the premise of what that quote was saying. We don't see the world or things for how they actually are. We see them based off our past experience and how we view ourselves, right?
Mm.
Does that make any sense? Or do I need to go further?
No, it makes perfect sense, and the reason why I asked to go a little deeper is sometimes we pack such a deep message into few words that may not everybody may take the time to understand that, right? That deeper message into what you're saying. And so I really appreciate how you said it, and I saw it and heard it my own perspective, which was very similar, uh, in the sense of, right, I spoke about today about how the way I see things, perceive things, feel things, and experience things isn't exactly the same way others are going to experience it, feel it, and all of that, right? And so there is a choice, a level of choice there to see which illusion we want to live in. I can live in the illusion of what you believe to perceive that is happening in my life, or I can believe in the illusion of what I believe is happening in my life. Because either one is an illusion, it's a unique perspective on what truly is happening. Like, and I believe we were saying the same thing, just two different forms of saying it. The deeper message behind how we said it was very similar, so I can definitely appreciate that. And that's why to me it spoke to me deeply, because it was saying similar things just in a way different way of delivering it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see
I
here.
don't care how we get to the end of the road as long as we get to the end of the road. There's
It,
no wrong or right way. just keep moving forward, right?
I agree. I agree, and that is really a big part of practicing healthy communication skills, right? The idea of
Hmm.
it's not about being right or wrong, is truly about sharing of experience and perspectives without judgment. Let me gonna go in here and we're gonna finish this one a little bit more. Let me see. Hold on.
Anais Nin. What we call reality is filtered through our own emotions, beliefs, and pain. This
Mm,
quote reminds us you don't see the world for what it is, you see it through the lens of who you are right now. If you're angry, everything feels like an attack. If you're insecure, everything feels like rejection. If you're at peace, even chaos can feel calm. The
mm,
world doesn't always need to change. Sometimes you do. When you start healing, growing, and understanding yourself, your vision clears. You stop reacting. You start seeing. If your world feels dark, ask yourself, what part of me is casting the shadow? This is Manan, an affiliate.
mm. Reacting, the idea of reaction, uh, living in reaction kept me in a state of imbalance, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And understanding how to combat that was very important in my transition into a healthier lifestyle, into a more open minded, uh, l- receiving experience. When I say that, is as far as experiences, being open minded to receiving any type of experience without judgment, and practicing this. Huge gamer, how you doing? Hug gamer, how you doing? Welcome in. And that helped me also combat anxiety, depression, things in in that nature, that in the negative nature, that kept me in a low vibration type of lifestyle. And so that kind of dives into right here the journey inward, a journal of self exploration as a tool to combat these things. And that's just what we're talking about today, or continue to talk about today, because we had started it already on last podcast. And so I am very thankful to have the author here himself to help me through my own personal adventures through this wonderful tool that he has created. Carla, Christy, how you doing? Welcome in on the TikTok side. Appreciate you. And what this journal truly is again a tool for self exploration that can assist me or anyone to, one, face themselves and ask the most important questions, in my opinion, to acknowledge and move past, to be able to create a life that we desire. And it has a variety of quotes. It is a tool that is not linear. This journal is not meant to be open and page one, read, fill, page two, read, fill, not at all. Rather, it is meant to be looked at, appreciate, studied, and say, this right here, this quote, this question, this is something that speaks to me right now. Or it can be something that, man, I'm really battling with this in my life right now. And if I look at the table of contents, here it has this area of, let's say, mental. My mental is not at a place where I would like it to be. And so I can go into, and it has a specific section just for mental exercises and mental practices that will help me acknowledge the issue or the challenge. It will help me acknowledge what is accessible to me to be able to combat this and properly get through it, to again accomplish goals that will create the life that I truly desire. How am I doing there so far, Ahmad?
No, no, no. It's good. The question I would have for you
Mm,
is it to have a life that you desire, that you deserve or that you came here to experience?
Mm. Well, for me, I can now say truly experience the life I came here to experience now that I've gone this far down my healing journey. If you would have asked me
Hmm.
that, I would say maybe 10 years ago, right?
A year ago. A
Yeah,
year
okay,
ago.
a year ago. Okay, a year ago. Um, I would say, ooh,
Desire.
yeah, truly, that desire, everything was, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Masked by what is it that I need? Because I thought that everything I wanted is what I needed. If that made any sense, if that makes any sense, at least back then.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
That makes sense. I mean, at times, wants and needs can get blurred, right?
mm,
If we're in a state of lack, then the want and need is the same thing. But when you're now in abundance and you have self awareness and you can use your discernment, you start to understand what is a want and what is a need, right?
mm-hmm,
And from there, you can make your decisions and navigate that accordingly.
mm,
But that's why I just wanted to ask to see what your because you as you were explaining it, you were saying desired or what you want, and I'm like, well, really, it comes down to what we truly came to experience,
mm-hmm.
right?
Indeed. No, I agree. And this link, I appreciate you being here on YouTube. We got and Savage Nindo. Thank you for stopping by on the kick
For
side.
for, for everybody that's in, man, please ask questions, discuss, anything you want to kind of go at. That's what we're here to have
Mm-hmm.
conversations and carry on to just get different perspectives, point of views, perceptions. That's how we all start to understand, establish more compassion and overall respect for one another when we can
Indeed.
have these conversations in this type of manner.
Indeed, I agree, and we highly encourage you to participate. Participation is what makes this wheel go round. Feel free to ask questions as far
Mm.
as in the chats, and we'll get definitely love to partake. Whether it's a comment, concern, something that you would like to kind of dive into, any of the following, any of the things above, you're welcome to ask away, and we're here to participate in this healing environment. Um, the what you were saying as far as being here for to experience the things that we wanted to experience, right? That for me is
Mm.
very powerful now because I see how my actions got me the things that I quote unquote didn't want, heartbreaks, this and that, right? That overall I needed to learn. I kept saying I don't want to be
Mhm.
hurt, but yet I found myself picking people and situations to get hurt, right? Ignoring red flags, ignoring the things. Go ahead.
Every person that comes in your life
Mm,
is to teach you and allow you to experience what you chose to experience because they're all part of the play. Like they've agreed to come here to teach you this.
mm,
Even though you think it's your worst enemy, spirit side, that's your best friend.
mm,
'Cause we forgot, we don't remember everybody that said they're gonna play a role in this experience that we want as life, right?
mm,
So everybody that's been, when you pick them, that was already meant for you to pick them. And it was for you to learn and experience what you're choosing to experience. And when you start realizing that, we need to be grateful for all our experiences because there's no such thing as good or bad,
Mm.
right? They're just experiences to help us understand who we ultimately are and who we wanted to be or choose to be when we came down here and what we want to experience.
Mm.
Because without those people to push those buttons and to get you to realize certain things about yourself as well as them, and you're not being challenged, right?
Mm.
You're not going to elevate to the position or person that you chose to be because there's no driving force, right? If you had all the answers and you knew what they were going to do, then the relationships would not be what they were. Because then you would make a conscious choice to like, I ain't gonna mess with him because I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk to her because she's gonna do this. And it goes back to like you said, where attention goes, energy flows. And
Mm.
all of us have manifested the life that we have now. So if we lived in a state of panic, we lived in a state of fear, we stayed in a state of lack, and we felt that we were never good enough for certain things, those are the people that we got, and that's the environment we stayed in because we chose that. If we completely had a different mindset and looked at things differently, we wouldn't have gotten what we got. And that's what I've realized here in the last year is when you no longer are thinking those things and your focus is on the opportunities and possibilities and
Mm-hmm.
your attention is to be happy and to live a life that you're happy with, things just smooth and work itself out, right? But when
Mm.
I'm trying to live up to people's expectations and still find out who I am, that's very challenging because their expectations never coincide with what resonates with you and who you are.
Mm.
And we have to be able to let those expectations go. And if they're disappointed, that's never our problem. We didn't come here to experience them to be happy. We came here to experience so we could be happy and we could
Mm.
understand something. If we solely came for all these other people, then what would we learn about ourselves? Because now we're worshiping what someone thinks about us. We're worshiping how someone feels about us. We want everybody to be so have that warm fuzzy feeling that we're so great. And in reality, we didn't come for any of those
Mm-hmm. No,
things.
you know, I agree so much with everything you said. I think what resonates is what you were saying earlier, as far as how people are before are meant to be in our lives to teach us that lesson. Like we've all agreed to be in each other's lives to play this role to teach us a specific lesson because that unique personality is what drives down the lesson, the experience. Really, whatever is the you I was infatuated with that person, whatever it was that got me to being so in love or so in such hatred or whatever, it was specific to that person, that being. They had to go through everything to become that person to have that reaction with me. And so I can see where you can say long ago we've agreed to at this point in our lives we will meet, and I'm gonna have to do this stuff to you so you can go through this, but you're gonna do the same thing to other people along the lines. And I'm like, okay, cool. Just like once upon in a variety lives ago, you and I made this agreement like, all right, man, we're gonna go through all our shit and we're gonna go to this point, and I'll be ready. I'm going to be ready to make the commitment to work on myself and know that I trust to have you as a fellow brother, fellow soul in the search of healing, so we can rely on one another to remind ourselves that we're not alone in this journey. And man, I definitely it really hits and connects with me. I think I cut you off earlier. Were you gonna continue on with another thought?
No, that was it. That
Hmm.
was it, man. It's just reminding people and trying to bring it back to we're so outside ourselves, and the whole journey is all about being inside. You
Hmm.
cannot change the world or anybody else. You have to change yourself first. And
Hmm.
the steps to do that will always be going in and looking at what could I do differently for me.
Hmm.
And understanding that this experience is about you and giving a lot of things back to other people is liberating, but also empowering for you.
Hmm.
When you realize uh, the boyfriend or girlfriend does certain things just to get their way, whether it's emotional manipulation or we see it as kids. Well,
Hmm.
if you don't do this, then let me get my ball back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go play with someone else if you
Hmm.
don't do what I say. Like things like that. It doesn't stop from children. Everybody does it even when they're adults because that's
Hmm.
just what we know, right? That's how we learn how to get our way and to manipulate and maneuver. And that is so empowering when you realize give that person their ball back. And you
Yeah.
know what you just showed me? I never needed to play with you in the first place. Because the only time you want to play if it's about you.
Hmm.
And I was here to experience us. So it's about you, cool. Now I know, so I can cut that out. And I no longer have to feel sad or upset because someone else doesn't want to do something where in reality they have the problem because it's just how they want it,
Hmm.
you know? And that's the beautiful thing when you can give somebody's emotional baggage to them and they have to sit with it. You
Hmm.
don't. I'm not obligated. I'm not here to make supposed to make you happy. That's not why I came. I'm not here to make you feel better about yourself. That's not why I came.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, most of us need to realize if I've never understood how to make myself happy, if I never understood to establish certain boundaries, how can I expect to do it for someone else?
Hmm.
Or let alone, how can I expect someone else to do it for me?
Hmm.
I have to understand and know how to do it first and then show someone else how I want to be treated or how I need to be loved. So I can't complain about how things are when I've never took the time to do it for me, let
Hmm.
alone showed someone, and now I'm holding them to an expectation that I've never held to myself.
Hmm.
And that's what's so freeing when we start to go through these things. The judgment slowly goes away, right?
Hmm.
Because now I'm not, oh, I can't believe this person's not doing it. Well, I've never did it for me. So I can't sit here and point the finger
Hmm.
when I haven't done it. Like my mom used to always say, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, right?
Hmm.
And that's all of us, by being judgmental, by saying certain things, and none of us are really truly ever in positions to judge the book by its cover. We
Hmm.
all should take that time to get to know ourselves first, to be open and accepting of other people, and that will change a lot for us. It will.
No, I agree. Which something that we like everything that we've been speaking about. I've been turning to not random, but I've been turning pages, and I got stopped on this one here, which the quote says, "Perhaps the only contact we've had with our inner child for a long time is to scold it, criticize it. Then we wonder why we are unhappy." Louise Hay. Um, the judgment, right? The criticism that we have upon ourselves really shadows the things we heard as children, right? Whether it's like, oh, you make a mistake on your homework, if you heard when you were little a lot, oh, you're a dummy, oh, you this, you'll never get it, blah blah blah. When you get older, the things that you'll say to yourself is the same things. Ah, man, I'm a dumbass. This, I'll never get it. I've never gotten it. I'll never, And so it's just repeating uh, the behavioral training that we get from the very beginning, and we don't realize it. That is part of what I consider generational trauma, is not realizing that we're teaching these unhealthy things to the next generation simply because it was taught to us, without having the time to ask, like, is this really necessary, in a sense. What are your thoughts?
I I would also say it's a form of a coping mechanism, right?
Indeed.
Because if I say all these things, that limits the expectation,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm gonna get, right? It also allows me to already kind of talk bad about me, so when someone else does it, it doesn't matter because I've already did it. Like
Yeah.
kind of like I threw that first stone, so it's my coping mechanism. Like
Mm-hmm.
and for most of us, I know for me, I was my hardest critic. So I put that one in there specifically because that one hits home for me
Mm.
big time. Like because I didn't pick things up, and from some of us, probably most of us, school is just you can't be very creative. The stuff you're learning doesn't. When are you really gonna apply it? It just doesn't make sense, right? A lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just sitting there doing absolutely fucking nothing. There's nothing in a lot of sense practical of what it's about.
Yeah.
And for me, I did feel like I was not very intelligent or smart based off of how the school system was set up
Mm.
and how most people learn, or the American school system. It's all based off of memorization.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what if you don't memorize that good, or what if it's a hard time memorizing shit that you don't care to learn because it's useless?
Yeah.
I have no interest in it, so why would I excel in? So yeah, it took me to now to realize like it was just the way the school system was set up, and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't provide me an area to allow me to be creative and shine lights on my stronger suit.
Mm.
And then by the time I did start school with everything else that's going on, then yeah, I automatically felt that I was already, not in a good position based off of what certain people would say.
Yeah. No, that it's an important lesson that we all learn it differently, if learned at all, based on
Yeah.
the interactions we have with other people, and that's again why it's so important to be part of the world, right? To communicate with other beings out there and travel and all of that, and that's why I feel partially why we're struggling mentally and emotionally is because of the extreme and sudden isolation that we've really had recently had to go through as a society, and that we weren't prepared for, right? Nobody uh, was prepared in the long-term sense of the things on how to stay healthy, or how to exercise one's mind, emotions, soul, and physical mind without being out there in the amongst other people and whatnot. So, Carlos TX, welcome in. User 41, welcome in. So that in itself plays an issue on why we see the rise of depression, anxiety, and all these things, because we went from extreme isolation to now back to regular stuff, and that extreme shock to the system without realizing it does play a big role. So if that had a big reaction to us as a society, imagine all those years of training of all our lives, going to school, getting bullied, becoming the bully, all these different constant different types of institution like mind thinking that we were forced to participate in just to create quote unquote a life, right? DJ Toddy G, welcome in, appreciate you, fam. So no, it definitely it's important to have these conversations. I wanted to come back a little bit because I really like this portion of the inner child, and I think it combats what we're talking about, right? To break out of that mentality of that social expectations. It asks here, what can you do to reconnect with your inner child? And for me, I'm gonna write down here something that I do to reconnect with my inner child is art. Art truly assists in creating a space for me to express myself, to allow myself to be creative without judgment. And it also allows me to go back to this stage of my life as a child where I truly thought I could create anything and everything I did was amazing and mesmerizing, like fresh, new, like, oh, I may not be the best dog, but I'm pretty good at it. Like I can tell there's a dog there, and let me get it better, a little better, and that those emotions, those real, raw, in the moment, just pure joy I get out of art. And so if anybody out there is looking for ways to reconnect with their inner child, I truly believe that art is a great tool for that. So I'm gonna write this down. What are you, as I'm writing it down, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, Things that I would do or that I do to reconnect with my inner child is to sit down and have conversations within myself and things that I tried to hide or I was not accepting I didn't accept. I now try and discuss it and incorporate it so I can take those aspects of myself and combine them together and now allow and acknowledge that little kid and say, hey, I wasn't there for you before, but I am now.
Mm,
Here's what I'm doing. Um, why would you choose to live in suffering when you could come and see a beautiful world, a positive world? I know it's scary to think of something new, but why not try it?
indeed.
You know?
Nah, I mean, and that's a beautiful thing about life. We have the blessing to, one, ask the question, why not try it? But two, we also have the right to not do it. We don't, maybe they have already experienced it. Maybe that's not an experience they truly came here to do. And that is also okay. So if you choose not to try it, guess what? That's the choice you needed to make for you, and that is also okay, because that in itself is going to teach you something about whatever is the experience that needs you wanted to learn from the get-go. So here we encourage your decision, and knowing that, acknowledging that with all our decisions, sacrifices are attached to that. And so, we are not here to tell you what to do. We are here to express what we have chosen to do in set experience, and what our experience was like, what our perspective was like, and the outcome, what was the lesson that we learned. That's what we continue to share and will continue to share in these podcasts and everywhere that we go. So I'm really, really, truly grateful for that, Ahmad, that you're here to express these things in your unique way.
Yeah, it's allowing everybody to have their own space to speak their truth. That's
Indeed.
that's what it's about.
Heck yeah, I wanted to read what you wrote here about creativity and expression. Um, as I'm reading this creativity and expression, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, if you're on your phone, pulling up the account, like if you search, intoxicated DJ, make sure the volume is all the way down so we're not hearing it. But um, pulling up intoxicated DJ on the TikTok, and once you're on there, at the bottom right hand side you'll see a little arrow that will basically, if you push that, it will come up with another menu that you can add to your story. If you share it, it has basically it'll share it to the people that follow you, and it'll offer it to see if they want to come and check it out, like share on the bottom.
Okay, so I want to. When you say go to your story and do what?
Oh, I'm sorry. If you on your phone, if you go to the search
Uh-huh.
and you put in the name intoxicated DJ, and like my the account should come up and you should see that says it's live
Yeah.
or we're live. If you click on that, it'll
Uh-huh.
bring up the live. You'll be able to see us. So on here, when we're
Yeah.
live, if you can pull it up, yep, I see you coming in. Elevated wisdom. Here you can, if you tap on the screen, it likes the live, and the more likes, the more it pushes it out. Also, on the bottom right hand side, it has the arrow. If you push that, it'll come up with another menu. It says add to story at the bottom left.
Yeah.
Click on that and then just the next, and that will share it to your people, and it will see now we have 2 viewers on here, and as it pushes through, if you stay on it, it will count as more viewers. The more you push the screen, it will count as hearts, and the more people will come through. So it'll help us out. I appreciate you, brother. Also, you can see there the chat. So as people come through, if I'm in the middle of chatting and I don't see somebody that comes in, just say, "Oh, hey, welcome
Uh-huh.
in," and it'll tell you the name whoever comes in and stops by. Okay, so creativity and expression. Creativity and expressions are fundamental to human flourishing, serving as vital outlets for processing emotions, fostering self discovery, and connecting with the world around us. Engaging in creative pursuit allows us to translate abstract thoughts and feelings into tangible form, providing a sense of agency and control over our inner landscapes. Through expression, whether it be through art, music, writing, or any other medium, we can communicate our unique perspectives and experiences, contributing to a richer and more diverse cultural tapestry. Creativity fosters innovation and problem solving skills, enabling us to approach challenges with fresh perspectives and find novel solutions. It cultivates resilience by encouraging us to embrace experimentation and learn from failures, transforming setbacks into opportunities for growth. Moreover, expression expression strengthens our sense of identity and purpose, allowing us to explore our authentic selves and connect with our passions. By embracing creativity, we unlock our potential for personal growth, enhance our well being, and contribute to a more vibrant and meaningful existence. Creative writing. Write poems, short stories, journal entries, or letters to yourself. Art and music. Draw, paint, sculpting, coloring. Add more. Play instruments or listen to music that inspires you. Photography, videography. Capture moments that are meaningful to you. I really, really love that. It really dives deep into what I was saying earlier, that what art brings out to me. What is some artistic ways that you like to express yourself?
I mean, at this point, it is creating a journal, um, a book, poetry, more things like that. As kind of workbook,
Mm.
videos. Um, that's more or less. I'm not a big colorer, so I don't really care to do it. I appreciate art. I love looking at art, but as far as painting, coloring, that's just something I just really haven't done. Not saying I
Mm.
couldn't get into it, but at this point in time, it's just something I haven't really done.
No, I get it.
But sitting down and trying to take my thoughts and create it and put it into something.
Mm.
And my goal or focus at this point is something that is productive and can be of some form of service, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it helps one person, that is great. I mean, what I do is always going to be centered in what's going to help me, but I'm really no different than anybody else. I may see things differently, but what I'm experiencing the same as anybody else. It's just at different particular parts of my life, right?
Mm.
But so for me, when I put something together, it's like, man, this is impactful. It helps me. So when someone else comments or, hey, that was good to hear. Thank you, great video. That's nice because that's the intent, right? It's already helped me, so I want to continue to see if it can help others.
Mm.
Just like our conversation, you know.
Most definitely. And the craziest thing that I'm coming to realize is that 9 times out of 10, I will not be aware of how much either what I'm saying, have said, or doing, or have done is helping, or will help, or has helped other people. There are more events where I'm like sure of, like, man, whatever it is that I did, man, that was bust, it didn't work, this and that, or I didn't do a good job. And every single time I feel this way, when I get feedback, it's always the opposite. Ah, man, you killed it. Ah, man, this, that. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, that, third. It's for at least now that I'm being more truthful to myself about it, it always has been like that. And so it goes back to what we were saying earlier, that we were our own worst enemies, and judgmental. The way we are towards us is very judgmental. And so having people like ourselves around each other, it really truly keeps me, one, accountable, but two, continues to have these conversations that keeps me aware of what I'm doing, how I'm living, what I'm eating, what I'm saying, because we are the type of friends that will check each other. Trying. What do you mean trying? There is no trying. You're either doing it or you're not doing it,
Yeah.
and you're here doing it.
You
End of
do it or you
story.
don't.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's again, we highly encourage you to find these people. If your friends are always negative and you're finding yourself that every weekend you find yourself at the club and drunk and you don't want to live that life anymore, but those are the friends that you have, guess what? You can make other friends. Guess what? You have the power to choose not to. Uh oh. Did we lose Ahmad? Are you there, Ahmad?
I'm here right now.
Okay, your video froze.
Yeah, look at me. I look like a.
There you go. There you go. You're back. Okay, we're back. He's meditating, folks. He's
He's like,
meditating.
I was like,
That's funny. No, it's funny. Um, so there's this question here that really I appreciate also, which is right at the next page. What activities make you lose track of time? I'm gonna ask you that, and then I'll answer it.
um, it's funny because I don't paint leisurely, like to do pictures, but to paint a house or to have a task, like I do enjoy painting. Cutting the grass is another one
Mm.
that I love. I love doing things that I can see my progress, right?
Jose Moscardo, welcome
For
in, welcome
me,
in. Appreciate you, fam.
and then clearly, if I've started a journal or a book or some type of project, I can get wrapped into that because I want to complete it. I want to finish. So I can, which is probably not healthy, but I can run on 24 hours plus to get something done if need to. I know that's not
Um,
healthy, but
okay, let's dive into that. Let's dive into that. Why is that not healthy?
um, because it will affect your circadian rhythm, like your sleep cycle. It can affect that. And it depends also, like when I'm up like that, I typically don't eat because I'm focused on what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be beneficial because now I'm burning, right? I'm fasting in a sense. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really eating and it's 18 plus hours, that's going to be good for my body. But at the same time, I may not be getting enough rest. And for everybody, it's going to be different. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think I need probably about 6 hours. Some people say they need 8. Um, so that's why I'm saying it's unhealthy. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a sleep specialist. I've been to one and they told me consistency is the key. You want to go to bed at particular times. And the reason you go to bed, it helps with your digestive, your system, right? To
Mm-hmm.
do all your food. And so there's many reasons why, but I've been able to, you know, work with 2 to 4 hours of sleep as long as I can nap throughout the day and it still
Mm-hmm.
equals 6. I just didn't get 6 all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's just my opinion. Is saying you probably want to sit down and get a little more sleep than
Mm-hmm.
just pushing through. But if you're doing it once here or there, I don't think it would be that harmful.
Mm.
But if you're up,
Drippy
weeks
Drip
on
TV,
end,
let's go.
24
Yeah.
to 36 plus hours, and it's common, that's not going to be beneficial.
Mm. The reason why I stopped and asked you this question was because, again, to demonstrate the idea of checking how we speak, right, and automatically labeling a unhealthy. Why do that, right? There's obviously reasons why you explained the reasons why you mentioned the unhealthy. So the why made the effort to highlight this is because it can be unhealthy doesn't mean that it's healthy. And so if we label something, even if it's the first time or many, the 100th time you've heard it, if you're hearing it again that in that sense, whether or not we don't give it the chance to be whatever it is for whoever it is, because we're automatically labeling it unhealthy. Now, to go a little deeper into it, I say that because if you're doing that every single day for all of your life, I can see where it can have negative health effects. Sometimes when you're in the creative zone or in a creative state of mind, this arcadian rhythm, this idea for a structured way of living gets truly shattered because it transcends that being, transcends that time. When you are connected to the source and the source is telling you, get this into creation, do what needs to get done to make this into reality, whether there's a sculpture, a book, whatever it is. You feel the energy, you don't know where it's coming from, you need 8 hours, but it's like, man, I have the energy and I want to continue writing. I want to continue typing. I want to continue painting. I want to continue whatever it is that you're doing. And if understood, the action of doing that isn't it doesn't have to be considered unhealthy right away. Is again how consistent we are with things and how often we choose to live in a certain lifestyle that can become unhealthy. So I do appreciate your warning and perspective on it. That was the only reason why I wanted to mention that, to demonstrate to the chat and the viewers how we can ask more questions to expand the conversation just on how we say things without having to be like, nah bro, you're wrong, don't say it like that, blah blah blah, right? If you just we just ask questions this way, if we communicate this way, have healthy human conversation skills, we can truly dive into any topic deeper and deeper and deeper that will help us transcend. And that I'm really truly appreciative for you, Ahmad, because you truly helped me with this. I wanted to see. Is there any? We're coming up here towards the end of our hour. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on before we start making our way out?
We did kind of cover some areas today where I got to talk a little bit, got to get out what I needed to say. So at this point, I'm good.
Hell yeah. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I wanted to read another um, quote that you have here by Sylvia Plath that continues on this conversation that we're having about creativity. And the quote is: "The worst enemy to creativity is self doubt." Again, by Sylvia Plath. The worst enemy to creativity is self doubt. It also goes right along the lines with another great quote that a good friend of mine continues to remind me of, which goes along the lines of comparison is the thief of joy. And so if you're trying to express your creativity, forget about the skills of others, forget about the level that you're in, and just just be. This helps me create. This puts me in a creative zone of possibilities and endless possibilities. And so, again, if you're practicing any sort of creative, artistic skill, check self doubt at the door. Put it, hang it up on the coats, on the locker. Put it away. You can always take it back when you're done. You can always carry that with you any time of the day, any time of the week. But while you're practicing those skills, just put it to the side for a little bit and truly experience what that feels like, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Um,
I would challenge you to take it with you and have self doubt put its toes in the creative water.
oh,
So
okay.
therefore, no longer be afraid of it and say you can do it.
Yeah.
Because most of us suffer more in our minds than in reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Seneca said something like that. We suffer more in our minds than in reality itself. We
Yeah.
we are so the fear we have, we're worried about the fear more than what happens with the fear.
Mm.
Just the idea of fear is what terrifies us.
Yeah.
So I would say bring it with you and kind of like that inner child, hold the hand of it and just like you said, encourage yourself to take that step and have no expectations.
I love
Just
that.
let it ride.
That's it. And again, the encouragement here is choices. We all have them. Most of us have plenty of them. And so the choice is yours. You can or you can choose not to. It's all on you. We're all Neo in this story. We're all the chosen one. And so
Yeah, we are.
indeed. And I'm thankful to have you to remind me of that because I can easily forget. I can easily forget, and having people like yourself in my support group, it's truly helpful to be reminded of that once in a while. Heck yeah. I would love for you to take us out with the three L's, if you would mind, sir.
All right. Well, continue to live the three L's. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Critical aspect.
Mm, indeed, indeed. I am truly thankful to everybody who continue to stop by, support, involve. I know that I've been approached by a few people that are maybe interested in coming by and having conversations with us. So, on the near future, we will be having guests, and I'm very excited to be welcoming a few friends, a few new friends that are courageous enough to come here and demonstrate healthy conversation skills and allow ourselves to speak on experiences, vulnerable experiences, courageous experiences, all of the above. And I'm very excited. So thank you to everybody, and we will see you soon. We'll check you out next Friday. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Weekend and week.
Mm.
Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Thank you for joining us and have a good night. Lead with love, take time to laugh, and never stop learning. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.